Alright, what's up there, people? Underspoke Riders here again. Another quick little weekend update. So I was out here this morning taking these messed up bumper fillers off. There's the two on the sides are plastic. That's the other one on the side. But the one in the middle is metal. And I've come upon a problem. Not a major problem, just a minor problem. This is there's 4 screws holding it on. As you see, I got 3 of them out and got down to this last screw. Now, this last screw here is stripped out, and I've come across this often when dealing with these old school rides, especially body. A lot of screws that are exposed to the outside, you know, body panel screws, should I say, tend to get stripped. Now, a lot of people have a lot of different ways of fixing this situation, but here's what I do. This is my way. I usually just take I've done this a bunch of times before, but I decided today I might as well stop and get this on film. What I do is I usually take a cutoff wheel. I usually take one smaller than this, but this is the one I have on my tool, so it is what it is. Because this is like at an angle on a lip, I'm gonna have to come at it from this way. Basically what I do is I cut a big notch into the head of the screw. And right as I'm done cutting it, cut a big notch, and then I just take a flathead screwdriver. Now it's a combination between the heat from me cutting the notch and making the notch big enough to get a bigger flathead on there rather than a small Phillips. Combination of them things is what breaks it free. And there you go. As you see, I didn't make the notch perfectly. It's not perfect notch, but it got the job. It got the job done, and of course the piece just fell down, but it's all good. Let me see if I can find the screw. And there you have it. That's the screw that was giving me problems. Of course, it's going to get blurry on me and not want to act right if I get too close, but you get the idea. That's just my little simple way of how I handle a strip screw. Now, of course, I'm going to have to find another screw to put in there. We're trying to put it all back together, but at this day and age, it's not a problem finding a screw. Simple little quick thing, mission accomplished. Now I got all the bumper fillers off. The next order of business is to get this this new brake hose out. I had this replaced back when I was driving the car because the old one was dry rotted and leaking brake fluid everywhere. So back when I was having brake problems, that's one of the things I replaced. Okay, got a few more small pieces off as I was underneath the car. Decided the emergency brake cable was going to be the next on the list because underneath the car it's all dangling, but I had to go inside the car first, so I had to jump from the front. I ended up pulling this panel out. This is the hood latch. That was the only thing holding it on. So now that I'm on the inside of the car, I'll be working on some of the stuff on the inside of the car. Next on my agenda of things to do, small things to do, is this the emergency brake cable is all hanging underneath the car. So it runs through the frame, and that's what this is right here. In order to get this out, you see that right there? Right there, there is like a pull pin. And then once I pull this out, I should be able to take the emergency brake cable all the way out. But we'll see. I'll fade this back in and let you know what happens. Oh man, okay, mission accomplished. This was the thing that was holding the brake cable in place to the pedal itself. And what I got off with was a combination of these two tools. I needed this thing. I used this thing here to kind of pry it off halfway. And that gave me enough play that I can actually clamp the lip of it with this vice grip, and then I pulled it off the rest of the way. But this was the hard part right here. Getting it off this part of the firewall right here. And of course, got the pin out, no problem, but of course it only comes out one way. That's going out this way, so that means I'm gonna have to unhook all this. But once I unhook all this, I guess you can call, I don't know what the hell this is called. This is where the two cords combine to one. So once I unhook all this, I'll be able to just pull it on out of there, and the brake cable will be free. Okay. Now, as I've gotten all the emergency brakes cable and stuff out, I moved on to, since that has something to do also with the cable hooked to the firewall, I moved on to the firewall. Now, this wire, before I even pulled the motor, that wasn't going nowhere. I finally chased this wire down that wasn't going anywhere, and after I chased this wire down underneath the dash, I realized this wire goes to a toggle switch that was underneath the dash that never did anything, and now I know why, because I pulled out the hole there. But this toggle switch was always here when I first got the Elcamino, and it never did nothing, but now I know why, because it wasn't ever hooked to nothing. Probably at one time somebody had some kind of lights or something, fog lights maybe hooked up to it, but since it ain't factory and since it's never hooked to nothing, I'm gonna cut this bad boy out. I don't need it, and move on to the other stuff. Alright. Oh yeah, one more quick thing I'm gonna clean up off this front end setup is these brake calipers. I hung these up here when I first started tearing apart my suspension because I didn't know I was going to go this far. I didn't want to take them all the way off. But seeing now I'm going this far, I'm going to go ahead and take them off. All that's holding these are is this little pin here. Same deal as the emergency brake cables. A lot of stuff holds these on when it comes to the brakes. So that's free and ready to go. And now that is ready to be cut down. So I'm gonna do that on both sides and add these brake calipers to the parts pile. All right. Okay. Well, I just kept on going here. I wasn't gonna do this today, but I said I was on a roll, so I just kept it moving. Plus, I got to really looking underneath the dash, and I didn't have to take too much stuff off, so. I got the first piece of the puzzle of the firewall pulled out. Now you can see all the way through inside the car now. So that's ready to be cut. So I'll say this lip is ready to be shaved, and this is all ready to be welded. But this is the piece I pulled off here. So. Got that part out, and now I'm gonna try to get the one out underneath the dash right beside it. Alright, I'll fade this back in. Oh man, boy oh boy. If you only knew the drama I went through to get this out without breaking anything. But I got it out. The only thing I was kind of wary of this because I didn't want to have to pull the whole dash off to get this out. I didn't think I had to, but I've never done this before. And that's part of the reason why I didn't really show, I didn't really film as I was doing it. This is not a how-to. The reason why I didn't film as I was doing it because I've never done it before myself, so there wasn't no guarantee I was going to successfully get this out. But this is more just an update to let you know what's going on. This was a pain. Buddy, oh buddy, this was some drama right here. But I got this part out also. And those are the only part of the dash I really had to take off was this little bottom piece. This little bottom piece of the dash, just like the little vent that hooks right underneath the glove box. And I pulled that part out, and I pulled the inside of the glove box out. But the main thing I didn't want to have to do is pull this dash all the way apart. I didn't really want to pull out the controls at this point in time. I just didn't really want to get into all that. But luckily, I got it all accomplished without having to do all that. Now, I might do that one day, but just today wasn't the day. At this point now, that's what I needed. That's what I needed right there. Everything is ready to go. Now I'm ready to do some cutting or shaving. Shave this lip off. Shave this lip off. And start welding some of these holes up. I couldn't weld this up with all that stuff in the way. I gotta do something with this. I'm gonna go back underneath there and try to figure this out. But definitely this was the bigger pieces that I had to get going. So all these wires, I'm just gonna leave these right here for right now because a lot of these are hooked to this control panel for the heat and AC, the factory stuff. So I don't want to take this out right now because I haven't figured out what I'm gonna put there in its place. So for now, I'm just gonna leave this for like it is for right now. I mean, I know it's looking a hot mess, but it is what it is. I'm not really concerned with the inside because that's not what I'm doing at this point in time. So a little piece in the firewall, got this out without breaking anything, which is always good. I'm always real skeptical of these little plastic, 35-year-old plastic pieces. But they held up pretty good. This is for the hooks to the carburetor. This the hooks to the throttle. The hooks to the brake pedal, the gas pedal inside the car. So got this out. We'll clean this up. I got everything off the firewall that I wanted to get off the firewall, on the outside of it and the inside of it. Small parts. A lot of small parts. A lot of miscellaneous stuff. So there you have it. That's pretty much going to be it for today on the 77 Elcamino update. Just nothing major going on. Just a small update. This is a small weekend update. Next weekend I'll be doing a lot of using some Power Purple, a lot of degreaser, a lot of cleaning. So there you have it for today, folks. This is a small Elcamino update. 100 Spoke Riders signing out.